everyone, this is Nikki Rowland and today I have a layout to share for Simple Stories. I am using the collection Simple Vintage Holly Jolly I'm making a layout today called Santa's Workshop, and you can see my title is already on that piece of paper. So I'm using this collection. To be honest, it's a simple vintage collection, and they're not always naturally what I would choose. If I was faced with all the different collections, I generally would gravitate towards the not so vintage ones. However, that demonstrates the point that everyone must always keep an open mind, because every time I use the simple vintage collections, I always love them, and I always make things that I really love, and it just shows that sometimes coming out of your comfort zone slightly and going towards something that you wouldn't naturally choose, actually you can still make some really lovely layouts, and I really enjoy it. I really enjoyed this collection. I've made 2 layouts with it, and I absolutely love it, and I've gone back for more as well. So I started off with that fabulous Santa's Village paper. Now it's kind of like it's like a timesheet, and I just loved that concept. And I had these photos of me and my friend preparing for our school Christmas fair. And I've also got a picture of 4 boys. So one is my son, and his 3 friends, and they were working in a group for the Christmas fair for the Year 6 Enterprise project, and that is where each of the groups in Year 6 are given a small amount of money, and they have to turn it into a business idea, make products and sell them at the fair, and raise money for the school. So all their proceeds go to the school charity. So anyway, we're all working hard in these photos. Me and my friend setting up the carrots for the Pick the Snowman's Nose game, and the boys doing the enterprise. The point was I was going for a real, work ethic, and this paper was just so perfect. Santa's Workshop with the timesheets. Clearly it's for the elves, and we are all elves at the Christmas fair, because we all work very, very hard. And I just love that concept and that idea. So that's what I was aiming for. So my Santa's Workshop paper, I've trimmed down on 3 sides, and then I've mounted it onto that beautiful dark green gingham. Not gingham, or check, I think you would probably call that. It's not really gingham. I've pulled out the one of the sheets, one of the 12 by 12 papers that has all the journaling cards on it, so the journaling card sheet, and I've cut all those apart, and I've used quite a few of those on my layout. So I've pulled out the really long one that's got time card written on it. Then was another one that says my Christmas gift list, and then there's some other eclectic items on there that I've just used for colours and borders. So you can see the one behind the smaller photo is the dark green, and then we've got the little journaling card with Santa on there, and there's another one that I've pulled out that is not on here yet, but will be soon. I think that is from the ephemera, though. It says Santa's Workshop. So it's really all about, the workshop and the working hard, I just wanted it to look like that. I wanted it to look like a series of ephemera all layered on top of each other, and all with that kind of work ethic behind it. So that's what I'm doing. I've mounted my 2 photos onto some pattern paper. I can't remember if the small one was a journaling card from that same sheet. The other one, I don't know if it's the other side of that paper. I can't quite remember where I got that from, but it's a lovely dark red pattern. Then I struggled a little bit because I had so many elements on this page. It felt a little bit too cluttered, and I wanted to make sure that everything looked cohesive and didn't get lost in all the different patterns and icons and things that were going on. So I just had to play around with it for a little while to make sure that it all worked, and tried some different arrangements and tucked things in and took things out again. And you can see me doing it here. Eventually I do get there. There we go. I've turned off the camera and skipped forward a little bit and figured it all out, and then got it all stuck down. So you can see that I've got all of those elements in. They're all distressed. Some of them are raised up and kind of curled over at the top. You can see that I've curled up the top corner of the Santa's Workshop paper. Just now I'm starting to add some embellishments. And as I said earlier, this was already a very, very busy layout, so I wanted to make sure that I didn't overload it with loads of embellishments. But what I did add was that lovely piece of bunting ephemera over the top of that larger photo, and that worked really well because the boys in their enterprise group had decorated their table, and I don't know what they'd used, maybe like bamboo canes or something, but they'd got these big sticks either side of the table so they could hang tinsel from above their heads across them, which was really clever. So anyway, the bunting ephemera worked really well there and matched my photo perfectly. So yeah, fabulous. And I'm just adding in lots of little bits and pieces. So over on the right hand side, just a little stamp with Santa on there. And I've put the little deer there. That's so cute, that little deer. The icons in this collection are gorgeous. All the different types of Santas, and there's so many labels. The little snowmen are just adorable. The holly leaves are gorgeous. I love the little eclectic clusters that this collection has. Like there's one little cluster there with a snowman and a label, and it's got a little ticket on there as well, and another little label sticker as well. So it's just, I love those little groupings that as scrapbookers we tend to create those ourselves with different pieces of ephemera, but in this collection you've got these little clusters already done for you, and then if you just add a couple of label stickers to them, you're done. So if you struggle with clusters or layering, this collection is really for you. It's got loads of those in. There's just me adding my bunting. I raised that up on foam pads and stuck that across the top of my photo. Just perfect. So ideal for my photo. Just making sure all my other little embellishments are getting stuck in place. So I've got these little decorations. The top right part of the layout was a bit empty, and I didn't want to put loads up there because I've got so much at the bottom of the layout, but it felt like it needed something. So just two little decorations there work really well. I don't know if they're stickers or ephemera, but I've raised them on foam pads and I've got them just hanging down from the title, and that works really well. It just gives a little something up there, and I added some splatters later as well without overloading it, but it definitely adds a bit of balance. I've added some holly leaves in the gap there between the Santa card and the green card, I've got over on the left hand side in the cluster there, I've got the number 25, I've got various little chipboard pieces, the little pinwheels, and I don't know if I've added the brads yet. I do at some point, if I haven't done it yet, added decorative brads. Maybe I'm still adding stickers, and I've just added there a scallop border sticker. I've just chopped that into a couple of pieces. That's from the accessory sticker. No, they're not so called accessory stickers. The 12 by 12 cardstock stickers. And I've cut those up into like about 4-inch strips, and I've put them one on the left and one on the right, just to, again, to add a little bit of balance and colour in those sections. Just coming in now by handwriting my journaling. So I've stuck to one of the columns that says finished, which I thought was quite good. So I'm writing in there about the fair, and I wrote about the game that my friend and I were preparing, and I wrote about the boys' enterprise project as well, and also said at the end what a great fair it was, and that we raised £4,300, which is the biggest we've ever done at a very tiny primary school fair. So we were really, really proud of ourselves, and goodness, I've got a challenge ahead of myself to raise the same amount this year, so we'll see how that goes. So just finishing off now with a few splatters, and I went for black to give a bit of contrast, and just a few splatters, nothing big, over the two big clusters in the bottom, and then a few splatters at the top there as well. And that is me done. So I really hope that you enjoyed seeing this layout come together. I absolutely loved making it. I loved how it turned out. I just think all the embellishments are adorable, and there's so many to choose from as well. So thank you very much for joining me today. That was Nikki Rowland for Simple Stories using Simple Vintage Holly Jolly.